Hello folk. This video is about a method to cope with a situation that occurs when you bring a Zoom meeting into a Kingdom Hall. Now you can imagine that you've set up your sound system ready to go and you start your background music, which we'll do, and that's all running fine, everything's happy, and then you start your Zoom meeting and lo and behold, the Zoom meeting is coming over top of your background music. Not a nice scenario at all. So how can we easily cope with that without going into Windows settings? So let's do that. The first thing that we'll need to do for this method is to install some software. The first thing is a virtual audio cable. So this is from vbaudio.com. Link will be below. So if you go there and download the appropriate one for your system, if you already have the free one installed, you will need to scroll down a bit and purchase additional cables. They're inexpensive, so that shouldn't be too much of an issue. Install it as per the instructions that come with it. Reboot. It's imperative that you reboot after you install the virtual cables. The next thing to do is to download and install Audacity from audacityteam.org, and the link will be below for that. Install Audacity, and it's probably a good idea to reboot after that. So get those two applications set up, and we'll come back in a moment and configure that. The next step is to do a little bit of configuration of Zoom. So we go to Zoom Audio, and from the drop down for our output, we select our cable that we've installed, our virtual audio cable. That will eventually link up to Audacity, which we'll do in the next step. Now that we have Zoom configured, we can proceed to set up Audacity. First thing to do in Audacity is to go into Preferences, uncheck Play Other Tracks, and turn on Software Playthrough of Input. Select OK. Then we need to connect Zoom to Audacity. We do that here by selecting the cable output, the complement of what we had programmed over here. And if we need to change the output of Audacity to our sound card or whatever it may be, this is where we would do it on over here. So you might have to select Sound Blaster or whatever it may be. In my case, it's Voicemeeter. And we can test that. You can click there where it says click to start monitoring, and we should be able to see our signal coming through. Click it again and it will stop. So we've achieved that part of it. Now we can stop our test signal coming through now. Then to clean this up a bit so that it's more usable, we can go into View, Toolbars, and turn off all of these menus that we're not going to use, the toolbar items that we're not going to use. We need to keep recording and playback, but all the rest we can turn off. If you find that you've got errors from when you try to run this, make sure that you've got the frequency set the same all the way through all your projects. So if you've got running at 44/100 Hertz, then make sure that this is set accordingly so that everything's running at the same frequency. So once you've got all those toolbars turned off, we take the corner and shrink this down to a more usable size, and then you can close it if you want, and it'll reopen it again at that point. So we'll just close that. I'll open it again. It opens up like that. So here we have our test now coming through. We can test it, and there's no output going to our system. We would be able to play our background music, and then if we want Zoom to come in, we can click on there and Zoom will come in. Click again and to stop it. It's as simple as that. Now we have a switch to use in our meeting that will control what occurs. I'll demonstrate that in a moment. So we can imagine we're at our meeting now with our control in place. Got an imaginary Zoom meeting running here. Our music's playing and it's nice and clear. And then we start Zoom, and if we click this button now,
then keep an eye on the lobby if you have enabled the lobby, so that
we can hear the Zoom meeting coming in. If we click it again on that bar there, then it stops. So simple. Just one click. Now we've got our Zoom meeting coming in.
Share the screen.
Now we don't. I hope that helps somebody somewhere. Bye for now.